Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. Today is our Canadian takeover of the Hotfix. We are going to be showcasing a bunch of Canadian runners. Before we get into all of our runs, though, just a few quick reminders. Registration is live for Awesome Games Done Quick 2024. So if you'd like to attend the event in person from January 14th through 21st, you can go there and register. Also, the second submission period is open until November 27th, and that's for all games released after August 1st. You can go to gamesdonequick.com for more information on registration or the submission period. Also, Frame Fatales has its next event, Frost Fatales, coming up on March 3rd through 10th of next year. If you use !FF in Twitch chat, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information about that. With all of that said, we have our first game of the day, Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways. I will hand it over, let everybody introduce themselves.
Hello there. How's everybody doing? Are you ready for really early morning spooky time? I'm joined by the lovely Lanaruse.
Hello, everybody.
It's Canadian. It's Canada time. Are you ready for the spooky early day morning horror games?
Absolutely. I brought the maple syrup, so I don't know how ready you are, but I've been ready all day.
All right. So yeah, let us almost get there because I forgot to do a thing to make sure a thing is disabled. So what I'm doing right now is just disabling the auto aim through starting a file that's already started. That way you don't have to go into the menus, just makes it easier in case you ever forget. But in 3, 2, 1, let us begin the run. So this is Separate Ways. It, of course, is the Ada story. It's a lot different than the original because we actually save Lewis. Also, we're playing in Japanese because, I don't know, I don't like English. And we're immediately starting in a boss fight. You ever play a game where you just get right into a boss fight? Uh-oh. 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 Okay, cool. I thought she was going into phase 2, and then I was going to be like, oh, no. Now, here's the thing. There's going to be no dialogue through the radio calls because if you play on anything outside of English, they just didn't dub it apparently, so we'll only be hearing Ada's half of the conversation. Don't you know?
It really helps with the whole, like,
of course,
who knows what's even going on in the run, where everything goes by so fast and then we have no dialogue either.
Unfortunately, the lack of dialogue does not make things go faster. It's just a thing. I thought it was a bug at first, but it's been 2 months and they haven't fixed it. So I'm guessing they just decided, we're not going to record the dialogue, I guess. So we didn't get exploded there, so everything works. Hooray! And then we are going to end chapter 1. It started so fast and now it's done. Basically because, again, you're starting with a boss fight. The boss fight's supposed to be the thing that takes up most of the time, but we kind of murdered that boss really, really quick. There are 7 chapters in total, and game starts out real fast, but then slows down in terms of how fast you can beat the chapters. So this cutscene that I just skipped gives you the backstory of why Ada is here in the first place. Which is, hey, I'm here to steal things to make parasitic enemies. Because, of course, it's a horror game. Who isn't trying to create parasitic enemies, am I right?
Easy.
Now, something coming up here is that we have to kill a cowman. Why do we have to kill the cowman? Because he'll show up. And of course I didn't kill the cowman, but I'm not going to go back and do it. We're just going to say hi to him in about, I want to say 45 seconds-ish. Because why not? Of course, this game takes place in Spain. So we're just, hanging out in Spain. Here comes Wesker with a call that we're going to skip. Because unfortunately, unlike Resident Evil 3 Remake, where the radio calls save you time because the IGT timer pauses, that's not the case in 4, so we want to skip those as fast as possible. in order to make sure that's a thing.
Yeah, we have no time for
And so
Wesker.
we keep running. Unfortunately. We won't see Wesker at any point, but Wesker actually shows up in the country at several points. He kind of like saves the day, quote unquote. Granted, that's because he wants the job done and doesn't have time for parasite things to happen. So there's the cowman again. He's just chilling, doing his thing. Oh, good. We didn't get hit by any arrows. Nice. And then one thing that I found out, oh, there's a glitch. That actually loses us time. You don't want to see that happen, but that can happen every so often. And one of the things that I discovered during my tech check, actually, for this event here, is that you can die if you stand on this for too long. It will just collapse from under you and kill you. And it was like, oh, I didn't know that could happen, but that'll happen. Also, I hope you're ready to see more grapple kicks. I forgot to mention that she'll grapple kick things back when she did it the first time, because it just happened so fast.
Speaking of fast, that was an incredibly fast puzzle solve with clues that we definitely found throughout the run. Not like Abby knew the solution all the time. Super genius she is.
Yeah, totally. To be fair, you may have noticed yellow paint while I was walking across the, I don't know if we want to call those mini bridges or not, but we'll call them mini bridges. And those will give you the solutions, because there's, all three of them are just about, but if you know them, you don't have to go find them. Always nice when games do that. And now we have the group of people that will not attack you unless provoked. So if you don't touch them, they won't touch you. They're just trying to go to the church for whatever reason, and we're just going to walk by, and then we're going to see the merchant, who some people think is voiced by an Australian, but no, in fact, the English VO is Canadian and not Australian.
Canadian takeover.
Why they have it. I suppose.
Love it.
And so we're running up here to... Oh, wait. No. Oh, crap. Okay, we went into phase 2. It's fine. I was trying to prevent that from happening. No. Really? Okay, I guess we're doing all the phases this time.
More Resident Evil. We love it. This game is incredible.
There we go. Technically, you want to walk up there a little bit further so that the explosion will kill her, because unfortunately, when you hit a rocket, it will, depending on the explosion, cause her to go into each phase, and that's exactly what happened, and it was very unfortunate. But now I'm switching back to the shotgun because that is the next weapon I'll be needing to use. You're constantly wanting to switch to the weapon that you want to use next as we end Chapter 2. And go into Chapter 3. Now, a really ridiculous thing about this chapter is the fact that you have to get a piece of paper that goes, oh, Lewis might be in here. She won't leave the house until you do that. She'll also very slowly walk into the house. Ada, we're trying to speed run. So we have to find a key so that we can leave the house. The house isn't locked. Everything is fine. But it's one of those cases where, no, we kind of want to force you to have to do this, though it is setting up a chase sequence. So that's also a thing. Don't you know? All right, pushing the door open. Key. And then one important thing is that you have to press X here in order to open the door, because it's setting up for the chase sequence. He's big, he's scary, he's trying to punch us. It's not going to be fun if he does. So we're going to
Wouldn't be Resident Evil without a large, scary person chasing after you, honestly.
You know, this is fair. This is very fair. So luckily we didn't have to shoot that person because she has the chance to grab us. We will have to shoot this guy, however, because he's kind of in our way. Again, we don't need them to die, we just need them to get out of our way, which is why we use the shotgun. However, everybody say goodbye to the shotgun as we switch to the bowgun. Again, the merchant's there. We don't ever see him, ever. He just kind of chills there, does nothing. So I'm going to blow up this guy, I was actually more hoping to blow up the wall beside him, but that'll do. Oh, hey, look, it's the guy that wears Leon's jacket. Oh, come on now, don't be mean.
He just wants a hug.
There we go. I guess.
No time for hugs.
Indeed. So now we have these footprints. They're Lewis's footprints. I don't know how she knows that they're Lewis's footprints because there's never any context where she's like, let me get a good look at the bottom of your shoe and scan them. Because she just assumes that they're Lewis's shoes. And so we're going. You don't have to look at that guy's neck. You just need to look at the footprint. There are certain things that the game doesn't tell you that you don't have to look at. And the only way you can find out is if you know. You have to look at this pack of cigarettes in order to get the frequency. The game will not continue until you get the frequency. So here we go, continuing to run.
And yes,
And oh no, they finally broke
we
through.
do have someone asking about the cat suit. So yeah, the cat ears are something you acquire in-game, and it actually helps us have unlimited ammo. So you'll see that that's going to be extremely helpful for getting through this run very effectively. Between the rocket launcher and the unlimited ammo, it's a win-win.
Yes. You have to beat the game on professional with S+ in order to unlock that. It's a bit of a pain, but it can be done. Yeah, so that's why we have the cat ears. There's also a chicken hat. I forget the other hats. The chicken hat reduces the damage you take. But yeah. So now we've been saved. Lewis is like, where are you? We're now going to get out of the village. We're also going to be introduced to the Plagas heads, as I like to call them. Because it's that time where the game's like, surprise, tentacles everywhere. So, ow. Ow. Of course I get punched. What game is complete without me getting punched?
And yes, this is New
going.
Game Plus as well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, please no. Also, I'm using a charm that increases my speed by 8%. Ada doesn't have to go through a gacha mechanic to get that. She just gets it by paying $100,000. I wish that was a thing you could do in Leon's, but no. So here we go. And jumping through. Luckily, that guy didn't want to ask me any questions, but unfortunately, we're about to be asked a question right now. Good, he threw it. Always nice. Sometimes the door will stay open for you, other times not so much. And now we can switch back to the rocket launcher. So that's what we're going to do. Lana, have you played this yet?
I have, yes. So I always say I am, full disclosure, I'm not a runner of this game, but I am a lover of the Resident Evil series. My favorite one would be number 2, but 4 would be my second, probably my second favorite at this point, but pretty close tied with Village because I had a great time with that one as well. So yeah, this one does hold a special place in my heart, especially because my dad played it a ton on GameCube when I was little. So this is the one I saw the most when I was younger. Obviously not this particular story, but the main game with Leon.
Yeah. Because Separate Ways did not debut until the PlayStation 2 version and is very different from this version. Of course, I lied about the radio call thing because there's one radio call that'll play and it's the one between Lewis and Leon. And I think it's because they already had the dialogue recorded, but that's the only one that plays. No, I won't spoil that yet. Because spoilers, thing happens. Also, we're forced to walk here because it's loading in enemies, and Lewis is like, oh no, help me, and it's like, nah, I'm gonna see you later, because the second we get down here, they all despawn, and Lewis walks into a burning room. Don't do that. Also, it's not explained how she's not being affected by the fumes and whatnot. She's just not affected by the fumes. take this little shortcut, because again, once Lewis's health bar goes all the way down, obviously it's game over. And then you don't want him getting ahead of you, because then you have to wait for him to climb, and he's really, really slow. Typical Lewis, being a pain for speedrunners everywhere. So now that we're ahead of him, we're just gonna go on a light climb up some stairs. Of course, we don't need to get any treasures or whatnot, because I already have everything that we need. And then, if Lewis gets here first, he'll go, oh, I don't have the key. And it's like, we saw you holding a gun, sir, just shoot the lock. But we just, you know, get through it, and now we have to go find 3 things because fetch quest, because we're infected with the parasite, which is one of the major differences between this and the original Separate Ways, is that Ada is infected. Ada is not infected in the original. She's just here to get, you know, the Plagas sample. Also, it's not amber in the original. It's just a Plagas sample of some sort. Now they actually made it make sense, like, oh, it's ambers. Okay. I'm about to get pushed, aren't I? Okay, that could have gone better if she had have exploded, but she didn't, so we had to make do. And then we have the stone puzzle. Everybody loves stone puzzles because, you know, puzzles. What Resident Evil game is complete without them? It's not like I already knew the answer to the puzzle or anything.
Speed.
Yes. And then we switch to the Chicago sweeper so that I can shoot the shield puzzle. 2 puzzles back to back. Sacre bleu, c'est impossible. Given that, you know, it is a Canadian takeover, it makes sense that French would make an appearance on the hotfix.
I'm glad somebody else did it.
I cannot guarantee. I cannot guarantee that any of the other runners today shall parler le français, but there is le français pour aujourd'hui.
Je ne veux pas.
Tu ne parles pas le français, sacre bleu.
Trent.
So here we have yet another puzzle. And then we have to hit that. This is where the rocket launcher kind of comes in play. And then grab the lantern.
Totally
and,
fine.
oh no, it's a trap. Yes. Lana may remember this from Resident Evil 4 OG when Ashley gets trapped in that room and you have to hit the 2 guys in the face before she gets crushed. It makes an appearance here. So the rocket launcher really makes this puzzle very moot, very simple, though sometimes the game likes to disagree and it's like, oh, you hit something else, we can't do that here. And it's like, oh, well, crap. So here we go. And now it's time to go get the second piece of the puzzle. I haven't played Separate Ways original, and I don't remember what exact... No, wait, she goes through the maze again. That's right. She goes... Because that's where Leon and Ada meet in the original, is just after Leon goes through the maze, and then it's like, oh, and then it picks up for Ada right there. Obviously, in the remake, they meet back where the shields were in the bindery, so it's like, hooray! And then we continue on, exploding all of the things. Oh no, so many Plagas armors. What are we ever going to... Oh wait, I have a rocket launcher to instantly take care of them and melt them into dust. I don't think the auto-aim is off. This is not good. This is fine. We will make do. There we go. I kind of noticed that it was on when I saw that snap happen, and I was like, oh no. So there we go. We now have 2 ingredients out of 3. The 3rd ingredient ends the chapter, which is nice.
And yeah, as Abby mentioned, it's a lot of these locations are ones that you do see when you're playing as Leon in the main quest as well. So it's sort of interesting to see how Ada has gone her separate way through the same locations of the game. So yeah, it's sort of little, I won't even call them Easter eggs because it's obviously extremely obvious. But yeah, it's really cool just to see the different landscapes, you're going through the different buildings that you would see as Leon, and then you get to go through them all again as Ada.
Indeed. And also, that was the one and only Gloria Las Plagas man that we deal with. Leon has to deal with so many more, and they're annoying because we're infected. We're affected by their chants, and it's like, oh joy. Obviously, the more they do that, the more Plagas heads we have to deal with, and despite the fact that I killed him before he ever uttered those words, there was at least one Plagas head. That is always the case. That one will always exist whether he says it or not. There are at least 3 spawns that I'm aware of that will always be a Plagas head. Every other one is completely at random. So here we go. Another puzzle. And of course I already know the answer, so it's, you know, done.
Gator.
Once I, of course, click the crocodile. And now we're on to chapter 5. And we're also separated from Lewis again. But we have been given the medication to stop the Plagas' takeover, which is nice. Though, one thing that we're going to find out here is that if you kill the thing that infects you, you're fine. Which has a glaring plot hole in the Leon campaign. But it's fine. So we'll take care of that guy. Activate the switch. And please don't hit me, thank you. Ignore these 2 because they're not really going to affect us. And you may have noticed that I didn't interact with the handprint, but all the footprints show up. You don't have to interact with anything for you to see Lewis's footprints this time. Now, if you're wondering did Lewis get all that red from, considering how small that vial is, plot device. Plot device. Although I kind of forgot that he had the red ink, and I was like, where did he get the red from originally? I'm like, that seems like a lot of blood if that's the case, but it isn't neither. It's just red ink. And oh no, what could all these hives mean? Yeah. However, we don't have to worry about that because secrets that you can do in any percent if you wanted to, because all you need to do is aim that to break that lock and you're good as new. So here we go. Can you count to 4? 2, 3, 4. And you're good.
Good job. Good job, everybody. Good counting.
Yay. And then it's funny because she says, I'm not going in this water. And then it doesn't drain all the way. And oh, look, she's covered head to toe in water. So it's kind of like, why didn't you just swim? You probably wouldn't have to deal with as much chaos if you just went swimming. I am not saying swim in a, I don't even want to know what's in this water. And I didn't hit that guy because I got distracted by my own not joke that was trying to be a terrible joke. It's fine. So again, one thing that I didn't mention about Ada's shotgun is it's more like a sniper rifle, because the further away you are, the more likely you're going to kill the thing that you're shooting. It's really weird, because it's a sawed-off shotgun. It is also a shame that they only give her one shotgun, because I do not like that shotgun very much. Kill the Garrador to open the gate, and then continue to the boss fight. That's right, we're going for a boss fight. Now, there is a thing that's about to happen, and that is the fact that we are going to lose access to our gun. And that is because I thought, oh, it's to not have DA go up when we're sitting here, because in some Resident Evils, you could lower your DA by missing shots. DA, of course, stands for difficulty adjustment, a thing that debuted in Capcom games with the original RE4. It has existed in every Resident Evil since. It's a really stupid mechanic that I wish they would get rid of. But apparently shooting your gun does not lower your DA in 4 Remake, which leads me to ask the question, why can't I just sit there with my gun then? It's a very strange thing. I mean, so that's why I thought the bullet thing would work. Also, who's ready to see a boss fight? Because it's time for a boss fight. Oh, hey, look, it's the U3. I kind of like how they did U3 in this game. Whereas it's not like just, oh, it's a thing I created that is an abomination, and it's actually one of Salazar's, like, assistants. I mean, it's his housekeeper, as we find out that the Verdugo is his butler, and this is his housekeeper, and I kind of like the fact that it's not like, oh, hey, we're just relegating the other hand, because again, the joke is in RE4OG, he's like, I sent my right hand after you, and Leon goes, your right hand comes off? You know, all the cheesy lines from the original that are relegated to achievements. And obviously right now there's supposed to be a radio call happening, and you don't hear a single word from Lewis, but they recorded the Leon line because you can hear him shout that throughout the cave. And so it's really weird. Also, Lewis is dead, hooray.
Yeah, leaving him alone was totally gonna be fine, right?
Right. And now we have to climb, and yes, you do have to grapple. She will not just jump down, so using our grapple technology, we're currently chasing after Krauser, who never has an interaction with Ada, which is nice and weird that they never have an interaction. I mean, granted, Krauser has no association with Wesker in the remake like he does in the original, so that is also a thing, although spoilers, that might not be the case in a future installment. Grapple kick here once again, and run. And of course, for anybody that's familiar with the original, you may have missed a section where you're deep in a cave and there's pulverizing things. Those are back. All of the things that were missing from Leon's original run are here in Ada's. So everything did eventually come back. It's just different campaigns. I missed that shot because auto aim. Darn it.
Oh, we've got some Krauser love. Yeah, he's a bit more significant in Leon's campaign because there's an actual connection there. There's betrayal. There's, oh my goodness, plot twist. But yeah, for Ada, it's a bit of a, oh yeah, that happened.
Yep. And speaking of which, just so I don't die, I'm going to turn off auto aim, even though it should have been turned off, because I'm gonna need auto aim to not be a thing in order to live. Because these are a one-hit kill. Wait for that one. You don't have to wait for this one, but I do, because it makes movement a little more consistent, because obviously there's two guys coming from behind me, and by waiting at that first one, or at that second one, technically speaking, you get that. I'm gonna die. Good, I didn't die. I wasn't expecting her to hide from that explosion, so I was like, that's gonna crush me, isn't it? But it didn't. We survived. Hooray. And then we have our two friends here that I missed, but hit the guy behind, so that might set up for other... Oh, another hug.
Yay!
Joy! So here we go.
Once again, we can bring it back to the
nice.
Canadian stereotype of us supposedly being very friendly. So the zombies just wanted to join in on that and share some Canadian friendliness with a nice hug.
I mean, I don't think we ever learn Ada's origins, so she could be Canadian. For all we know. We do know that she was in Raccoon City, which of course is a small Midwestern United States town, but we don't know where she was born or anything. Could be very much that she was born in Canada for all we know. So honorary Canadian. So here we go, going down the elevator. Wesker calls us a disappointment and asks for a status report. I don't know what happens if you listen to that call. So, anything is possible. But yes, we have to sit here and wait. I used to shoot one of my weapons here back when I thought DA would be manipulated, but sadly no. So we gotta run. All right. Hit this guy. He may or may not transform. Like I said, it's completely random whether something transforms into a Plagas head or not. You can tell that they're going to based on their reaction to your hit. They'll either spawn out right away or they'll not fall down from the shot and just kind of stand there. So there we go. We got the boat key. Leon shows up immediately, which again is kind of a plot mix-up because if that was the case, there's no way that Leon would have seen Krauser going when he was going. Again, there's a bunch of plot holes that the two make that don't make sense, but we're just going to smile and nod and ignore that. And we're also going to ignore all these guys and switch to my rocket launcher. Now, I don't know how this works. Sometimes the game is nice and lets you go without killing these guys. Other times, even though they're nowhere near close to the lift, the game's like, nah, you have to kill them. And I was like, oh, all right then. So kill these two guys and then kill these three. Or is it four? No, it's four. Okay, so that one guy that I pass with the thing does show up. And then we can go. It's all very nice. Again, it's weird. Sometimes they can be very far away from this and the game's like, no, you have to kill them. Right now, I'm trying to make sure that I kill a cowhead man because they're kind of a pain and can kick you and it hurts a lot. So here we go. Very nice. And good. He was defeated. The guy who's currently yelling at me doesn't really matter if he lives because he's too slow. It's really the animal heads that you want to worry about because they can kick you really hard and knock you down. Getting a lot of hugs this run. Bit concerning. So can I make it past? Yes! Okay, cool. Because sometimes when you kill him, it'll just shut the door right away, and it's like, but I don't know why that would happen, but okay. And now everybody, speaking of hugs, are you ready to see the most terrifying friend you'll ever see that wants to give you a hug? Because this is where Ada gets introduced to the regenerators. There are 5 in total that Ada can fight. She only has to deal with 3 of them, one being an Iron Maiden, the first one being right there. But again, since he's in the tube, he doesn't really bother us. The second one is coming right up here. Speaking of which, the music playing right now, if I were to kill those 3 Ganado back there, it wouldn't play. It only plays because they're alive. It's a little weird, but you know, we'll smile and nod and go from there. So here we go. Running as fast as we can. And then we have to pull out a battery. And surprisingly, you might think that us doing this would have been prime, I'm going to say real estate for something to come out and attack us. I don't know, like another regenerator. No. Nothing happens pulling that out. Even if you let the other guy live that I blew up. No, you're fine. He doesn't attack you if you do that.
Very thoughtful.
So here, indeed. And now we're introduced to spider Plaguses, which they did very differently in this game. Spider Plaguses were the 3rd Plagus that spawn if a Plagus head would come in the original. They're the ones that separate from the body if you kill the host. No, they're just always on their own. Oh, that one didn't die. Nice. Also, if you don't kill the regenerator in time, when you see this one, she does the Drat, another one line. We killed the Iron Maiden, and that does it for the regenerators. Now, who's ready to go on, was apparently a carnival ride? Apparently.
I'm in the mood. Let's go.
I don't... I mean, fair. But I wouldn't call, you know, gondolas a carnival ride. I don't
Mode of transportation?
I've never been to one.
Maybe. A simple mode of transportation.
So here we go, and we've switched back to the bowgun because it's a little easier, because one of the things that Ada's rockets do is they curve, which Leon's don't. I don't know why they decided to go with a curve for Ada's. So by switching to the bowgun, it's a straight shot to whatever I need to hit, and I have to hit other people using crossbows. So that's a thing. So here we go. 1. Again, they will explode based on distance, so that's why that one exploded. So this one, I think after 4 shot, nope, we're good. Then we can move on to this guy. And then we can move on to that one, and then we have to watch out for the rocket launcher guy who's gonna come out of the shed. And then we're going to kill the doubles, like so. There we go.
Yeah, I'm a little scared of heights personally, so this would not be an enjoyable experience for me, especially with the, other people firing at you. But just in general. This
is true. I am also not a fan of heights. Fun, random Canadian fact. When I first moved to Toronto for college 13 years ago, just walking by this CN Tower would cause me great shaking. Like, I was terrified to even walk by the thing because it was horrible. Now, not so, like, now I'm just like, oh, cool. But yeah, I was not a fan of heights. I'm still not a fan of heights. But, like, yeah, even walking by very tall things would just make me go, ugh. So that was a thing. So now we're on our way to meet our lizard friends. I hope you're ready to see an adorable lizard chat, because it's coming. Going to switch back to the bowgun because I guess I just decided to switch to the rocket launcher for a second for no reason. We have all these people who want to do us great harm, and it's just kind of like, no. Can we not? And here we go. This gun here, it will insta-kill you. You cannot do a trick that I'm doing in just a few moments to get past them. I tried because I thought maybe it might work. No, it doesn't. You have to do some pretty weird shenanigans that involve getting hit and then tricking, and which somehow tricks the gun into hitting the thing that hit you. It's very complicated. I don't understand it, so I don't do it. But it's time for the lizard friend. He's a very nice lizard, but very hungry. And you know what they say, when you're hungry, you're not necessarily the friendliest person in the world. But here we go. Ada's gonna push this out of the way. Also, one thing that they do with the Ada campaign is they paint everything yellow that you can interact with, which is very weird. And of course, since I already know the code, I don't have to wait for Ada's eye technology to work, because that's how you would figure out that pattern regularly. And there he is, the big hungry friend that a rocket launcher only affects once. On higher difficulties, you have to spin this 3 times. On standard and assisted, you only need to spin it twice. I was about to tell a lie again. So we squeeze through here, and he's not happy. He's still very hungry, despite the fact that he's going to walk by a corpse here in a second. See, there's a corpse right behind you. Why are you so attracted to the thing that is not right beside you and is moving? However, he is very kind to sit there and wait for us to input this code. So obviously, the fingerprint that is the most lit up is the first number, and the one that is not as lit up is the last number. And now, who's ready to do some shenanigans? Because it's time for shenanigans time. Oh no, not lasers. What are we ever going to do? Well, we're going to back up a bit, and ta-da! Now, you're hoping that that cutscene plays, because if it doesn't play, you have to wait for her to get up. So she's getting up during the cutscene. So it works out, hit the wrong button, we're gonna heal and continue on. She mentions that it's a bit excessive, and you're right. In the original Separate Ways, she doesn't go to set the explosives for blowing up the island. So this is all new to the remake right now. So there we go. And we keep running. This is also about to end the chapter as we have some delightful lizard sushi.
Yummy.
I do not recommend... I don't recommend lizard sushi, but we're going to make some anyway. So we have lasers again, oh no. Also, he is chasing us during the entire time, so if you don't hurry, you might get grabbed and eaten. Yes, indeed. And jump and go through. The blue laser turns it into sushi, but that's the end of chapter 6.
One more.
Yes. Also, this is where the jet ski comes in, because I don't remember if in original she rides the jet ski or not. Again, it's been a very long time since I did Separate Ways original, but the jet ski that Leon rides out in the end is how she gets here. We're blowing up that door because there's a guy behind it. Hooray! And then we're, you know, dodging everybody. There's also 3 costumes that Aya can wear. There's one that's based on her RE4 original, her RE2 dress, and then there's this one, which is the sweater dress. You can also give her, like, green hair, but then you can't have the cat ears. They really went all out, because also they included alternate costume for Wesker and Lewis. You can also customize how Leon looks and how Ashley looks for Separate Ways. So they added like a bunch of stuff, which was cool as we continue on for. Also, you can kill that guy and steal his hat and sell it for $10,000 if you really want to. We're not going to do that because we don't need the money. Now, you want to make sure that the enemies are very out of your way, because if they get near the elevator, the game won't let you ride the elevator, despite the fact that there's more than enough room. Not like I'm very salty about this because of how many times it happens in a playthrough or anything. Also, we're getting ready to fight Ada's final boss, but the run is not over because then there's the escape sequence directly after that. So here we go. These Novistadors are weird because even though you can kill Novistadors while they're in their hibernation disguise mode, Ada's rockets won't kill them for whatever reason until they're back, and it's really weird. Again, they made some very weird decisions when it came to the rocket launcher that I'm not entirely sure about. So now we have to look at the rocket. You must look at the rocket. The game will not allow you to continue unless you do. And here we go. And oh no, we now have 4 minutes and 35 seconds to beat the game. Can we do it? Lonnie, do you think we can do it?
You know, I don't know. I really want to be optimistic, but nah, this is the speed run. Let's go.
Good, he tried to hit me. This guy might ruin plan. Oh, good. We got that kind of grab where it's not really a grab. And then we need to explode a bomb. That didn't work because he took the explosion. Bad, Gennaro, how dare. One of the good things is you don't have to deal with the shield guy. So here we go. No dealing with shield people. And keep going. Ignore the dynamite man. And ignore those two. This guy's going to try to shoot me. We're going to try to bait his shot. Good. Obviously, another brute is what they're actually called, but I usually call them by what animal head they have, and that would have been a boarman, because there's only cows and boars. There's no super variation. Cow heads are typically melee. Boarmen are typically ranged. So there we go, special rocket, and here we go. Also, as we grab the rocket, Leon goes into phase 2 of the Sadler fight, which was also new. Sadler never had 2 phases. He only had the one. That Novistador wants to give me... I wouldn't call that a hug, because he's not giving us a hug. He's more just trying to puke on us, which isn't very nice. You shouldn't do that. So there we go. And then we have 3 guys with rocket launchers. We're going to grapple kick one of them and then ignore the other 2. There we go. Multi-hit to make sure that we blow up anybody around, and excellent. We don't have to worry about anything. And also a difference with Separate Ways is the fact that Ada and Ashley actually have an interaction. They don't have an interaction in RE4 Original. But there we go. And we're gonna click or pull the lever. So we never see Leon down there, but he's down there somewhere.
He's around.
Also, time is coming up right now. This has been Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways. The ending doesn't really change. The only difference is that it's revealed that Wesker has Krauser's body, which is how he gets his Plagas army for 5. But yes, Lana, would you like to tell the fine people about you?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Lana, or Lanaruse. I've been here to hang out with Abby and cheer her on through Resident Evil 4. I'm not a streamer myself, but you can catch me doing a lot of charity stuff with GDQ and other events. I am on Twitter under the same name, but that's about it for me. How about you, Abby?
Hi, I have been The Runner. I do a lot of horror games, especially if you count Castlevania as a horror game. You can find me at twitch.tv/Abby's Corner. I usually almost stream every day. You can also find me on Twitter and Blue Sky and stuff. And yeah, thank you for having me, and stick around. There's a lot of other great Canadian runners on this thing that you can enjoy, and whatnot. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much to both of you for being on. Absolutely fantastic showcase. Thank you so much. With that being said, we do have more games coming up, so we're going to take a quick break while we get ready for the next game, which is going to be Curse Crackers, For Whom the Bell Toils. We'll be back in a few minutes with that.